Let's go to the main menu and click Guides. In the search box at the top, type in Sermon and then a space and Starter. Locate under Guides, Sermon Starter Guide. Now, the Sermon Starter Guide is not looking for a Bible verse, rather it's looking for a preaching theme. And as we've shared earlier, a preaching theme has to be a tag that Logos has created. So if we type in rocket, there's no preaching theme for rocket. We do get here a list of society in Rome, which has nothing to do with rocket. But if we type something, for example, water, we can see a variety of options here in our list. We simply need to select the one that we want. Now let's choose water is turned into blood. Now what Logos is going to do is bring together a variety of sections to help you study this passage. If you look closely, this is very similar to the passage guide, but with some significant differences. Now in the first section, your content, if we click and expand that, we can see the various results. Now, over at the right, you'll see that we have two display options. We have by title and by type. And if we click by type, now we can look at the types of documents we have. In this case, notes and passage list. Now, what is going on is Logos is taking that passage, Exodus 7:14 through 24, searching your notes and passage list for that reference. Let's go ahead and click on your content to close this section. Let's click on theme. Now, what I like about this section is Logos quickly generates a list of themes. You then can select from these themes to determine which one is most relevant for your studies. Let's click on miracles. Notice immediately a second sermon starter guide has opened up, but now it's focused on miracles. So this way you can be studying a passage as well as a topic. Let's go ahead and click the X to close that window. And let's close the theme. We're going to close every section when we're completed. Now, commentaries, we've seen this before, is simply going to search for your passage in the commentaries. You should be aware that if you float your mouse over the section, there is a settings section, and you can choose a collection. So if you have a specific collection of commentaries, you can choose that here, and now you won't be searching all your commentaries, but just those that are in your specialized collection. So be aware of that ability. Let's go ahead and click commentaries to close the section. Let's click on outlines. We've seen this before. Logos will generate a list of commentaries that have outlines and link you to that outline. The next one is parallel passages. We've seen this before. If your passage appears as a parallel verse in another section of the Bible or has some relationship, you're going to see that here. For example, in Exodus 7:17, we're going to see a link to Revelation 16:3, which is this connection of water being turned into blood. The next section is figurative language. When we click and expand that, Logos will look for some unique phrases. In this case, we don't have any. Thematic outlines, we've seen this before. Let's expand topics. Now, topics is going to find related topics. Notice there are three views here at the right. I'm on the list view, which to me is the easiest to use because now I can identify the topic, click the triangle to expand, and then I'm given the links to study this further. The cloud is a visualization of the words from the text, and tags emphasizes the most significant words in that passage. And again, down below, you get a list to those words. If we were to click, let's say, water, then the list below would change. So really, it's a matter of preference and how you want to jump from one topic to more detailed information. Now, since we've covered all these other sections, we're not going to cover those. So in summary, the Sermon Starter Guide is a great place to start with a passage to get some of that preliminary research information. Let's go ahead and click on the X to close this window.